Hey, welcome to 12 Tone. So, lyrics. As composers, we can spend hours or days building rich harmonies, driving rhythms, and compelling melodies, but in the end, what most people are going to remember are the words. They're the most precise tool we have for telling a story, so whether we theorists like it or not, they're kind of a big deal. We've already talked about poetic meter and how that applies to lyrics, but today I want to talk about something more obvious and probably more important: rhyming. And in order to understand that, we need to check in again with our good friend poetry. Probably the simplest rhyme structure is the couplet, which is just two lines that rhyme with each other, like in Nirvana's In Bloom, which begins, "Sell the kids for food, weather changes moods." Couplets are easy, clear, and incredibly common, but they can sometimes sound a little juvenile. They don't ask for very much engagement from the listener, nor are they all that difficult to write. A slightly more complex form is the quatrain with 4 lines. A good example here is U2's Beautiful Day, which starts, "The heart is a bloom, shoots up through the stony ground, there's no room, no space to rent in this town." Here the first and third lines rhyme, but they're interspersed with another rhyme between the second and fourth. This asks the listener to hold on to multiple chunks of sound simultaneously in order to track both rhymes, making it feel a little more advanced. Quatrains also come in a couple different shapes. This version with 2 pairs of alternating rhymes is called an ABAB quatrain. You can also try ABCB, which is kind of like a bigger couplet, or ABBA, where you sandwich one pair of rhymes inside the other. Then there's the Rubaiyat quatrain, like in a Robert Frost poem with a very long name, which starts, "Whose woods these are, I think I know, his house is in the village though, he will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow." Here, the third line doesn't really rhyme with anything. We start with a couplet, seem to move on to another one, then suddenly turn and jump back to our original rhyme again. It has some of the simplicity of a couplet, but the engagement of a quatrain, which makes it a pretty powerful choice. Rhymes can also be more than one syllable long, like magic and tragic. Well-executed multi-syllable rhymes are hard to do, but if you can pull them off, they give your lyrics a lot of sophistication. Expert wordsmiths may even be able to put together entire phrases where every syllable rhymes with its counterpart in the next line. It's incredibly impressive if you can make it work. Speaking of which, so far we've only covered end rhymes, rhymes that come predictably at the end of a phrase, and that's not your only option. For instance, in My Shot from Hamilton, Burr delivers a line, "Geniuses, lower your voices, you keep out of trouble and you double your choices." At first glance, this just looks like a couplet. After all, voices and choices do rhyme, but so do double and trouble. This is an example of internal rhyme, rhymes that exist within a single phrase, and it's a hallmark of more advanced poetry. It adds depth to the words, giving them an almost musical quality even before you set them to actual music. Internal rhymes are especially popular in rap and hip-hop, where they may even completely displace end rhymes with phrases and rhymes flowing into and around each other with no clear boundaries. But on that note, what is a rhyme? They're words that sound similar, but that's not a very clear definition. If we want to be more rigorous, we can break it down into 2 categories. The first is called assonance. Oh, grow up. Assonance is when syllables share a vowel sound, like knife and light or house and pound. But we can get even more rhymey. For instance, rail and kale share a vowel, but also that final L. Sharing a consonant sound is fittingly called consonance. A special type of consonance is alliteration, where several sections of your sentence start with the same sound. Generally, for a rhyme to be perfect, it needs to be both consonant and assonance, sharing as many sounds as possible. However, the ear is capable of identifying both on their own, leading to what are often called slant rhymes, rhymes that are close but not quite there. brhymes.com is a great database for these, and one of the first places I go when I'm struggling with a lyric. It's a good way to quickly get yourself into the right ballpark, which brings me to my final point for today: forced rhymes. This is when you have to choose weird words or awkwardly twist your sentence to make the rhyme work, and it's not pleasant. The best advice I can give you is to just not do it, but if you have to, I do have a trick. If you have an awesome line that you need to get into your song, but you can't find anything good to rhyme with it, just put the bad line first. Rhyme works on expectation. Your audience hears a setup, then starts wondering how it's going to be delivered on. That means that when they get the first line, they don't have the context they need to really be disappointed yet. They're just waiting for you to drop the bomb. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to help make these videos possible, please consider supporting 12 Tone on Patreon. You can also join our mailing list for scans of all our episodes, try the exercises to learn more, like, share, comment, subscribe, and keep on rockin'.